The chatter in the precinct buzzed like a swarm of hornets. I leaned back in my chair, the worn leather creaking beneath me. Reports rolled in, each more frantic than the last. The theft of the Rosemary of Angela of the Cross from the British Museum had set off alarms across St. Monica Island. My phone lay face down on my desk, its silence unsettling. I glanced at it again. My older brother Robert hadn't called yet. He had a knack for landing in hot water, and today felt like one of those days. I drummed my fingers on the desk, imagining what trouble he could be stirring up this time. The office door swung open with a suddenness that broke my train of thought. Jack Rabbit strolled in, his gait casual but purposeful, eyes sharp as ever. He was never one to mince words. "Danny boy," he said, leaning against the doorframe with a slight smirk. "You look like you've swallowed a lemon. Just waiting for Robert to check in." I ran a hand over my buzz cut, feeling the tension knot in my shoulders. Jack pushed himself off the frame and walked over to my desk, his expression shifting to something more serious. "He's been busy." "Busy?" I echoed, trying to keep my voice steady. Jack slid a folded piece of paper across the desk towards me, his eyes darting toward the door as if checking for eavesdroppers. "Spotted him down by the docks with some young woman. Real pretty. They were talking to some unsavory characters." I unfolded the note quickly and scanned it, heart pounding at each name mentioned. Criminals I knew all too well from my time on the force. "You're telling me Robert's playing footsie with lowlifes?" My voice rose despite myself. "Seems so," Jack replied, his brow furrowed with concern. "Might be worth looking into before things spiral out of control." I shoved the paper back toward him and stood up abruptly, adrenaline kicking in. "Let's head down there." Jack nodded, his earlier levity gone as he followed my lead out of the office and into the chaos that awaited us outside. I stepped out of the precinct, the humid air hitting me like a wall. The vibrant colors of St. Monica Island flashed around me, banners from local businesses flapping in the breeze, the scent of ripe bananas mingling with salt from the sea. But I had no time for distractions. Jack fell into step beside me as we made our way to the docks. "You think he's gotten himself in too deep?" I shook my head, frustration bubbling up. Knowing Bobby, he thinks he can handle anything. Jack's gaze shifted ahead, scanning for any sign of trouble. That stubbornness runs in the family. The docks came into view, boats bobbing lazily in the water, fishermen chatting as they prepared their nets. My heart raced as I spotted Robert's boat, the faded paint peeling like old skin. "Over there," I said, pointing toward a group gathered near the dock's edge. Robert stood among them, his rusty beard catching the afternoon sun. A woman leaned close to him, her laughter ringing out like wind chimes. "Great," Jack muttered under his breath. "He looks too comfortable." We approached slowly, not wanting to draw attention just yet. I studied the woman next to Robert, long hair cascading over her shoulders and an easy smile that seemed out of place among the rough-looking men surrounding them. "Stay back," I whispered to Jack as we drew closer. "Let me handle this." Jack nodded, but kept his eyes locked on Robert and his newfound friends. I stepped closer, my voice steady but firm. "Robert," he turned, surprise flashing across his face before it settled into a familiar grumpiness. "What are you doing here, Danny boy?" "I could ask you the same thing." My gaze flicked to the men around him, a mix of locals and unfamiliar faces. The woman glanced at me, her expression unreadable. "I was just having a chat with your brother." Robert crossed his arms over his chest, bristling slightly. "Nothing to worry about here." My pulse quickened as I took a breath to steady myself. "You're mixing with some dangerous company." "Dangerous?" He chuckled dryly. "These guys know how to make things happen." "And what does that mean?" Jack stepped up beside me, arms crossed like Robert's. "Business," Robert replied curtly. "No one here is playing by the rules," I shot back, tension thickening between us. The woman smirked slightly as if she relished our discomfort. "Sometimes rules are meant to be bent." The air thickened between us like the storm clouds gathering on the horizon. I took a step closer to Robert, lowering my voice. "Whatever you're involved in, it needs to stop now." Robert's eyes narrowed, that stubborn glint I'd known since childhood, flashing dangerously. "You always think the worst, don't you?"